All right, so today, Saturday, my plan was to go to the Total Archery event and just check out the vendors and then shoot for the TAC truck, which is the 111 yard shot to a caribou. So when I got to the event, I checked in, gave them my name. Now I messed up, and I don't know if I messed up or not, but I wanted to sign up for the loophole course on Sunday because it's an easy course. This is my first time doing anything like this, so I didn't want to get it over my head. So I figured I would just pick that easy course, see how it went, and then next year I could maybe bump it up. So I did that for Sunday, and then I knew I wanted to shoot for the TAC truck on Saturday, today when I got here. So I signed up for a spectator pass, thinking that's what I needed. And when I did that, I bought another shirt for my youngest son. And then Total Archery Challenge messaged me and said, no, if you want to shoot for that, you just need the range only pass. So I went back and bought that and got another shirt for my other son. So we all have shirts now, which was the score, which is fine. And then when I went to check in, I gave her my name. I told her I registered 3 different times, and she showed me that I actually registered for the prime course today, Saturday at 11:30, and it was like 10:30 at that time. I'm like, oh, well, all right. So I jumped in line, not knowing what to expect, and it was a blast. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, when you look at the different courses, it's the toughest, I think, the most challenging, maybe. I don't know about that. But it was very hilly, and the terrain's up and down, but I hit every target, which surprised me. And then, so after I shot the course, the prime course, I went back and checked some more vendors out, and I was done. I was tired, so I said, let me go find this camp spot. I decided to do this about 2.5 weeks ago, and when I got on the Beaver Bend's website, or the Oklahoma State Park website, there was just a handful of camp spots available, and I found one. So I got it, picked it, paid for it, and I'm riding around looking like, where's this thing at? And I finally found it, and this is what it looks like. But I was willing to make the most of it. It's fine. I don't need a picnic table. I brought my own table, but I have a pretty decent camp set up here. I'm right here by the water. The sound of the water is awesome. I got my little campfire going. So I made the most of it. Next year, I'll definitely book way ahead and try to get a better camp spot. And I'll also do all 3 days because it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of walking. My feet are hurt. The dogs are tired, but I'm ready to do it again tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to try to shoot for that truck. I didn't want to do it today because after I got finished for the prime course, I went and looked, and there was people everywhere. I'm like, no, I don't want people to watch me do this. So tomorrow I'll give it a shot, and we'll see what happens. So I completed the Total Archery Challenge, and it was a lot of fun, but man, it wore me out. My feet are hurting now. I'm going to probably be walking with a limp for the next week. The terrain was just very steep. and you know, up hills and down hills. But it was a lot of fun. I think I'm pleased with how I did, considering, you know, I'm just not used to this. I didn't get a chance to put a lot of training in. So the first day I did the prime course and I hit every target. So I feel like that was an achievement for me. I hit every target, I didn't miss any. I scored pretty good. I did hit the 12 ring on a moose that was at 98 yards. That was the highlight of the day. I got some 10 rings and some 8s and 5s. Today, it's Sunday, I shot Sitka, and it was a little bit more difficult. I got zeros on 3 of the targets. The first one, totally my fault, because the 4th target into the course, you're having to shoot between 2 little sapling trees, maybe a 6-inch gap between them to the target. And I went for it, because if I would have made it, that would have been cool as hell, right? But I hit the tree, I hit one of the saplings, and my arrow went through it. I got my arrow back, it was fine. And then one of the targets, there was a bedded deer, and I don't know what happened, but I shot high and went right into the water. I don't think it was a fluke or what, because I haven't been missing that far off. So I lost that arrow, got a 0 on that one. And then there was I don't know what kind of deer it was. It was at 80 something yards, and I just shot just under its belly. But you know, as the day was going on, I was getting tired, more tired, and my sight, or my pin, was just bouncing all over it, to where if I held it too long, it just got worse, and I finally just had to make something happen, which makes it all worse, because then you're flinching, and I don't know. Overall, I'm very pleased with how I did. It was really fun. It wasn't as intimidating as I thought, but I felt pretty confident going, you know, once I started shooting some of the targets. Overall, the whole event was fun. The staff was awesome. They were all super nice, which that can make or break an event. Everybody was so nice. And you know, me being a solo guy out there shooting by myself, I jumped in with a couple of guys on both the prime and the Sitka courses. So everybody's super friendly. They don't mind if you come and shoot with them, which makes it more fun. So I had a blast, and I'm looking forward to it next year. I'm going to do all 3 days next year. I'm going to probably do some exercising before I get, or leading into the event, just so I can be prepared, because some of those hills were quite treacherous. But I did it. It was fun. I was wore out. I did attempt to shoot for the TAC truck. That's the 111 yard shot at the caribou, and I didn't do as good as I thought I would. When you're standing up there, there's a pine tree that's leaning, and if you're standing in the wrong spot, your path arrow goes right into the tree. I didn't realize that. So my first shot, I hit the tree, and I'm like, what happened? I mean, this tree's like 20 yards out, maybe 30 yards out. And I realized that I wasn't paying attention, but you know, as you're shooting 111 yards, your arrow is going way up and down, and I just shot right into it. So I had to scooch over a little bit to avoid that tree. Then my next 2 shots were over the back of the caribou. Now remember, my sight to shoot 111 yards, I have to max it out, and then I have to aim 18 inches over where I want to hit. So the second and third shot, I shot over his back, which kind of gave me an idea. Okay, I need to aim a little bit lower. So I did that and started hitting the target, but I was hitting it to the right a little bit. That was 5 arrows, so I took a break, and then I had 6 arrows left, and I had a guy helping me spot, and I was shooting low, so I brought it back up, but I was shooting right. So then I had to start aiming to the left, and you know, at this point, I'm having to aim at the ear of the caribou, or on the antler. And once I kind of figured that out, I was grouping them about 8 to 10 inches to the right of the 12 ring, and by then that was 6 arrows when I finally figured it out. Now this could have been partly because there was some pretty high wind gusts coming through, but once I figured that out, that's $150 I spent. So I wasn't going to put any more money into it to try to figure it out. I think this is just something that next year I may have to try a different site. I need to make sure I can actually put it on 111 yards and make a shot. So next year, I'm super excited for next year. I'm going to be much more dialed in than I am now, so it'll be more competitive for me. But I think I can get better. I think I could do better. But overall, I was happy with how I did leading into this. So heading back home now. It's over. My feet are tired. I'm wore out. Ready to go home. But it was fun. Definitely worth it. I'll definitely do it again.